Welcome, I'm Jon Caldara, president of the Independence Institute, and your devil's advocate. Later on, we're going to talk about bicycles. Trust me, you're going to like it. I won't, but you will. But first, buy a roof, get a gun. The best promotion I've ever heard. James Webb, you own 1776 Roofing.
Yes, sir.
Now, roofing is roofing.
Roofing, it's a commodity.
Some guys do it better than others.
Sure.
There are tons of roofing companies that run around, chase hailstorms, and right now nobody is losing any business as a roofer. So
that's right.
Business is good.
Yeah. Colorado has been good to roofers for the last several years.
Colorado's been bad for roofs, good for roofers.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
How long have you had the business?
So the business has been around for about 13 years, and I have owned it for about 3.
All right, so you bought the business.
Yep.
Business is good?
Yeah, it last 3 years. Lots of hail in the area.
God bless hail. You have a rather interesting promotion out there that seems to be getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Buy a roof, get a gun.
That's right.
Explain that one to me.
It's just that simple. You buy a roof, and then you get a gun. So it's a kind of a crazy story. 3 years ago, when I bought the company, I realized just how competitive the roofing world is. And at the time, there was a great big storm down in Douglas County, Castle Rock, Highlands Ranch, Monument area, Castle Pines, that area. And we were trying to figure out what we could do to stand apart from the other 2,000 roofing companies. And I was looking at the demographics. I was like, okay, Douglas County's got a lot of upper middle income white people. There are a lot of Republicans down there. And what do Republicans really like? And what
tax cuts.
Tax cuts, yes.
Tax cuts.
Yes. And
buy a gun, get a tax cut.
I would vote for that.
Yeah.
I would be all for it. But we were thinking of all these different ideas about, and nobody really cares the different upgrades for shingles or stuff like that. It's really boring stuff.
You don't see your roof.
Yeah, you look at it and you go, yep, it's there, and the only time you care about it is if it's leaking. And so what we decided to do was go completely outside of roofing. And we thought, what do these people really like? And what could they get behind? And that's a deep emotional connection. And I'm a military brat. My father served for 22 years in the military. My sister, career military. My cousins, brothers, my entire family is military. And so I'm like, well, these conservatives, they like guns. And I looked at the time and the cost for us to get a customer, because we'd have to give away all these things and try to compete with all the other roofing companies.
What kind of things would you give away?
Impact-resistant shingles or, boring stuff. We try to figure out, a lot of roofing companies do things illegally by giving you a sign credit, which is another way to waive the deductible, which is big time illegal. But we get forced into these creative ways to try to match.
People might not be following you and say, I tell you what, you put up our sign in your yard while we're working on it, put up by 1776 Roofing,
that's right,
and we'll pay for your insurance deductible for you.
No, they can't say that. But what they will say is, I will give you so much money that just happens to match what your insurance deductible is as advertising for us putting our sign in your yard, which is it's terrible business, for one, to be giving that away. And it causes companies to cut corners and do all kinds of things, which is why the roofing company is infamously known for its...
Sounds like a little payola.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right, so instead of doing that, you said a gun.
Yeah.
What exactly do you give away? If I get a roof from you, what am I getting?
So you have the choice. You can get a Smith & Wesson AR-15.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. Or you can get a $500 gift card, and they're both through Cabela's, and Cabela's has been a great fulfillment partner for us.
Really, so if I recall, this is a Smith & Wesson...
Smith & Wesson Sport 2.
Sport 2, all right, so Sport 2, what is it, like $700, $800?
Yep.
Although now it's probably a lot higher because there's a run on them.
Could be, yeah.
Right.
It retails for $700, and we buy a few of them, so we get a little bit of a discount. So that's...
So I get a roof, and then I get to go down to Cabela's and give me my gun.
That's right.
They run my background check.
Yep.
Here it is.
That's it.
So I have to ask, how's business?
We're locked and loaded.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really, how is business? Did this
good.
promotion work?
Oh man. So normally we were doing the normal things, Angie's List, all the different paid Google AdWords and things like that, and we would get about 20 to 30 leads a month, and we close about 30%, 20 to 30% of those. Within 2 weeks of doing this promotion, we signed 200 people.
Wow.
Yeah, it was overwhelming. We were not ready for just how crazy it got.
Obviously, there are a bunch of hicks out there with bad roofs.
Bunch of rednecks.
Bunch of rednecks.
Yeah.
Bunch of haters
Yeah.
who need roofs, and they figured out a way for an insurance company to buy them a gun.
That's
Who are these hate-filled people?
That's right.
Who are these rednecks who are buying roofs from you to get the gun?
these dirty, rotten scoundrels. 80% of our customers are military veterans and law enforcement, active duty and retired. So just this morning, I was up at an Adams County Sheriff's home, checking out his roof, and he's signing up. And it's ironic because we never are the first gun.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
well, because an AR-15
nobody would ever buy that gun for the first time.
Right.
That's
An AR-15 is usually
gun.
not a first gun.
No.
The 22 rifle is a first gun.
I got my 22 rifle when I was 7 years old, and my dad took me out, and we learned how to shoot. We learned the proper use of a firearm because a weapon is made for one thing and one thing only.
Let me stop you there. You're on Colorado public television.
Yeah.
What you just said might as well been, I took my son to cross burnings at 7 years old.
Book burnings, yeah.
Book burnings.
With hoods.
We went out,
the whole bit.
There were public lynchings, so we took out our son at 7 years old. That's what people hear. I don't think what they get is this is part of a lifestyle that is not weird or dangerous.
Right.
It was something the father gave to his son that gave, of course.
Yeah.
I bet, was it a Ruger was it a Ruger 1022?
That's right.
There we go. Everybody's first 22 rifle.
I still have it to this day.
I got mine.
I've taught my 7-year-old son the proper, safe way to handle it and to use it.
Right, and when you do that, the fear of guns melts away.
Sure, it's a tool. It's an inanimate object.
When I talk to gun phobes, and they flip out over something like this, but once you understand it, get to know it, that melts away, and you see it like every other bit of sporting equipment you have.
It serves a purpose.
But shooting that is more fun with a gun.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about, you went to a home and garden show.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a business.
That's right.
So you have to go to places where you can find customers.
We're a service-based business.
Right.
Home and garden show, largest show in Colorado. And
where does it take place?
At the convention center.
All right.
Over 50,000 people a year. That's what they're advertised that show up to that.
Really?
Yeah.
So you go to the show. You have your booth. You've done this before, I'm assuming?
Not at that show. We've never had to advertise. We've never had to spend a penny on advertising because the promotion's been so successful, and we want to leverage that and build on that. So we got a big booth right at the front door.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it was really expensive. But we made the investment. I took the truck, which and we had a sign, a banner to put on top of the truck, and a red carpet that it sat on. It was pretty nicely done in my view.
Yeah, you're a roofer. You don't know what pretty nicely done is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're a bunch of rednecks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
All right. What was the problem?
So we drove the truck in, and on the side of the truck, it has a picture of a gun. And as soon as we got that in there, one of the managers, one of the stage people, complained to the director.
Is this it right here? This is your
That's
truck?
right. Yeah, this is a picture from yesterday where we were out with the Adams County Sheriff's training facility.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you bring that
truck.
You bring that truck into the Home and Garden show.
Yep.
Now, you brought a bunch of guns with you as well. You brought a bunch of AR-15s with you.
You would have thought so.
You brought a bunch of loaded weapons with you.
You would have thought so. We brought a picture.
It was a picture.
A picture.
A picture.
Yeah.
And the picture was on your truck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we couldn't have taken it off and hurt anybody with it.
Okay, so
it
was, wait, serious question. The gun that was on the side, the picture of it, was that gun loaded or unloaded?
It must have been loaded the way.
All right, well then I can understand why they freaked out.
Yeah.
So they kicked you out of the Home and Garden Show for a picture.
That's right.
Pardon me for saying this. I remember a time when even anti-gun folks liked the First Amendment, at least, if not the Second Amendment.
Yep.
I remember when people would say things like, I disagree with what you have to say, but I'll defend to my death your right to say it.
Yep.
You couldn't do this. You were kicked out because of a picture.
That's right.
Instead of people saying, I'm not doing business with that guy.
That's what I don't understand. I mean, they have the choice. There are thousands of other companies to choose to do business with, and go with somebody else if you don't like what we do.
All right, now, I live in Boulder.
Yeah, good for you.
I've been turned into a criminal, and I'll become a criminal later on this year. They're outlawing the type of weapon that's right. that you're giving away. It's odd because if you have like a Mini 14, but you have a wood stock on it, it's still legal.
Perfectly legal.
You take off that wood stock, you put on a folding stock, it's now illegal.
That's
I haven't
right.
quite figured out the sense behind all this.
There is none.
Now, if I go to you and I say, I want my gun, I'm in Boulder, you still going to give me my gun?
You know, we love Boulder. We love those people. They need all the help they can get.
So that's going to be a yes?
Oh, yeah. I'll be right there with you when you go get it.
That would be super. Well, I have to go to Cabela's.
That's right.
There's no Cabela's in Boulder, so they'll still give it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thrilled by this. Have you gotten much hate out of this?
Not a bunch. We every time we get some sort of media blitz, there's about 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure they're the same people every time, that will call or email us and tell us we're the worst people in the world for putting mechanisms of death into the world. And then that's it. But then there's the hundreds and hundreds of phone calls and emails, even people that don't need roofs, just in support of what we do. From other states all over the country, even in some of the other countries, Australia and England and some of the other places, they come in, they're like, man, I wish you guys were here. I am so glad that you're doing what you're doing. Keep it up.
I'm glad you're doing what you're doing because there was a time this wasn't so weird. I remember the Bank of Boulder. The Bank of Boulder did this for decades. It's how guys got their hunting rifle.
That's right.
Was it Steve Bosley who was the head of that bank?
Steve Bosley.
They had an advertising campaign for years. You put in so much money into a CD, we will send you your hunting rifle.
And it was phenomenally successful. Because I know Steve, because of the promotion, just naturally we met each other. and the
next generation.
Yeah, that's right. And that promotion was phenomenally successful then. And not near as
and what's beautiful is it came out of Boulder, the same hate-filled place now that is so intolerant that people like me are not welcome.
That's right.
Incredible. All right, James, thank you. If I need a roof, you're going to be my man.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Stay tuned.